Okay, let me start from recent history of Uganda. From the time President Museveni came to power, have you ever seen him issue a document he has co-signed with anybody? Do you know of any? Kenneth, do you know of any? Have you ever seen any document from the NRM co-signed by President Museveni and Among Mbabazi? Co-signed by President Museveni and Justin Lumumba Kasule? Co-signed by President Museveni and even Richard Todong himself? Have you ever seen any?
Was it a letter?
I have not seen.
What's
Maybe
your
you
point?
have seen. What I'm trying to tell you is that when we are doing forensic analysis, we go to the minutest detail. During the course of my work, I do forensic analysis of even of documents. So if you have never seen any, then that is strange. So you put a star at that point for further investigation, to ascertain the facts. It is strange that this time round, a NEC resolution would be communicated by way of a letter leaked through a journalist and co-signed by the chairman of NRM and the Secretary General. Bottom line, what I'm trying to show you, if you have studied Museveni politics for the last 40 years, President Museveni does not share the limelight. He's a Machiavellian par excellence. He does not share the limelight. So you cannot say that SEC sat and then they issued a resolution co-signed by the President and the Secretary General. That one is not true, and if you know Museveni politics very well. So that later is more likely to be a forgery than being legit. Number two, when you talk about the people who are running for speakership, at the end of the day, where does power lie? You know, power does not move around randomly. Power is structurally allocated. So those who understand that usually know how to do it. In Uganda today, there are two structures that control power dynamics. President Museveni is the first structure. The second one is the structure of our brother, the Honorable Minister, the one headed by the CDF. So that is where power resides. Now, if...
You mean I'm seated near power?
You are close to power because he's close to power.
Okay, let me even
now,
extend close.
So if President Museveni and his son agree that the Right Honorable Anita Among in the short or medium term is the right person to steer parliament for them in order to consolidate power, they will keep her in the speaker position. If the two, or if the president vetoes the decision or the wishes of his son and says, no, we want Honorable Norbert Mao or any other member to take over the mantle of steering parliament, that shall be. It doesn't matter how much money the Right Honorable Anita Among spends. It doesn't matter the machinations, because I am very sure, 100% sure, and mark my words, 100% sure that the Right Honorable Speaker has been struggling to get that endorsement through. It was not forthcoming. She has been struggling. I don't want to delve into the details, but she has been struggling to get the endorsement through. She has tried through thick and thin to make inroads into State House to make sure the president makes the endorsement. But it has been very difficult. Then finally we see the letter coming through. That is an act of desperation. And you see, like they say, when you fly too close to the sun, the wax holding your wings will melt away. I don't know the people who advise this lady. They need to advise her to study the politics of her predecessors, like the Right Honorable His Excellency Edward Sekandi. Yeah, Edward Sekandi is a person who knows President Museveni from their school days in Tanzania. These people know him. He's a Machiavellian par excellence. You do not try to take the shine away from him. And that is what Anita Among does not understand. You saw her in the campaign trying to take credit Yeah. In fact, when we had a member of the NRM secretariat, he was saying that this legislature should not take away credit from the secretariat for delivering the 71.6% victory. So the point I'm trying to make is that regardless of what the incumbent does, regardless of how much money she throws at this race, it is ultimately going to go down to a decision made by President Museveni and his son. President Museveni represents the past and the present. The son represents the future in their household.
All right.
Yeah?
Let me put this to you. At the end of the day, it is the MPs who will decide in their first sitting. And we have seen a number of them actually endorsing Anita Among. If you've seen social media, awash with videos, people in boats, in water, all these places showing their support to Anita Among. Also remember, to find a speaker to replace the late Jacob Olanya, we were told Museveni's preference was Jacob Oboth. That is the current minister.
Who told you?
In charge of defense.
Who told
but
you?
Then we are told that there was some, avalanche in the NRM caucus, and Anita Among emerged victorious.
I am privy to the
support.
machinations that took place for Anita Among to succeed the late Jacob Olanya. But who told you that President Museveni preferred both? And you mean if President Museveni wanted to stop Anita Among, he wouldn't have stopped her? At the end of the day in Uganda, what President Museveni wants gets done. This is a monarchy. This is a monarchy of President Museveni. It's a presidential monarchy. No, don't use the word democratic. This is a presidential monarchy. Instead of the word king, we are using the word president. What President Museveni does, the king is never wrong. What he wants gets through. The other time when he wanted Jacob Olanya to become speaker, he made phone calls. So are you telling me those MPs who have endorsed the incumbent, when President Museveni calls them on the eve of the election and says, we are voting Mao, they will not vote Mao? Are you telling me that they will defy him? And resources are availed, and then he goes and sits in to supervise the whole process, and SFC is all over the place, and they tell you that the cameras are pointing at the basin where you are taking from. All those games that we have played, are you telling me that? So that's why I've told you, regardless of what the incumbent does, it is going to boil down to what does President Museveni and his intended successor, what do they want? What do they foresee as the role of the speaker in
the
next parliament?
All right, let's go to Mr. Chigongo. Mr. Chigongo, I'm very sure that you've been also following this story. Your quick thoughts on it. The rest for the speakership, very quickly.
One, I want to concur with the Honorable Norbert Mao that the country ended up with an accidental speaker when Jacob Olanya unfortunately left us under the circumstances that he left. But regarding that later, Anita Among knows exactly what she wants, like any other fortune hunter. What she does right now is arm twisting President Museveni and the NRM. Unfortunately, she's doing a disservice to internal and meaningful democracy. She should allow the NRM as a political party to go through that internal democracy. I'm so sure with all the resources she has at her exposure, with all the contacts, I'm sure she has made almost 99% of these MPs throughout the entire campaign cycle. I'm so sure she funded so many of them, she can even win on a normal day. But she's denying the country internal democracy. She's actually strangling democracy in the entire country because the NRM, being called a mass party as it is, given that it enjoys the rural support and everything, and all the privileges it has of the state. When you suffocate democracy in such a party, we're doing a disservice to this country. The country doesn't need a speaker who is sanctioned. But the race as it is, I think the country, Thomas Taiwa and Speaker Anita Among, I hope the Honourable Minister can convey my message, they should allow the party to go through internal democracy.
What would you say if Anita Among tells you that, one, Edward Sekandi, Right Honorable, was given an opportunity to serve for 2 terms. Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga was accorded the same opportunity. So it's a precedent set. That's how the NRM does it. 2 terms, and then you move on.
They did, but they never desperately twisted the president or the party.
What do you mean I'm twisting?
All the precedents that you are seeing, the endorsement, the prior endorsements from the MPs, the forged letters, the alleged forged letters, this is twisting. And the president is very vulnerable. When it comes to this lady, yes. Because the lady has gained a lot of power. She cannot stop her. The entire executive cannot stop her.
The president
these are my thoughts. Yes. Yes.
Hey.
General Museveni
I
of
got
the
to-
NRA.
I got to know that in first place, he wanted Anita Among to stay as a deputy speaker. Initially, after the death of Jacob Olanyi. But she had circled him.
But the same way.
Through the same powers that you've mentioned. She had circled him she had already approached the Saleh, she had already approached the Sun, all the NEC members were all aligned.
The entire NRM caucus.
He was
Even envelopes.
so she was literally, she had literally circled him all over. So when you are stuck with this kind of person, you must also tread carefully because after what happened with the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, it was not easy to push her away. In circumstances, she was pushed away. So you wouldn't want to, again, waste the same energies on another character. So the best way actually you can do is to deal with this character right now.
All right,
this is the only opportunity.
Extra on Radio
And
1
they are also.
Let's go for a break now. When we return, we'll bring in the Honorable Minister. Probably will give us an opportunity to understand better how the NRM function, because by virtue of his office and also the workings, having been closer to power, like Mr. Gesa said, he will be able to tell us exactly what could be going on. Stay tuned to Radio 1 FM 90. Spectrum Extra continues after this break. Parliament. Now, let's bring in the view of the Honorable Minister, Godfrey Kabyanga. Honorable Minister, what's your reading of this race? And also, if you can share with us what you know could be going on. Has the NRM endorsed the current leaders? Are we going to go for... is there going to be a meeting, probably where this issue will be decided? What do you know about this later?
First of all, to Mr. Robert Chigongo, the President Museveni, my president, who I know, can never be vulnerable by such a very small issue. 2, nobody can encircle President Museveni. That one we should forget completely. And if you had that in mind, from now you are hearing from me, you can't encircle him, and he can't be vulnerable in this country because he's in charge of this country and strongly in charge. Whether you call him a king or what, but he's a president elected by the people, he's commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Nobody can encircle him, and nobody can manipulate President Yoweri Museveni. That one we should know. We should know. When it comes to this issue of the speaker, it's not giving NRM sleepless nights because it will be sorted. And NRM has its own way of doing things. First of all, we build consensus at one time. Now, I was here last time, and I told Kenneth and the panelists who are with,
and the listeners,
that what I am aware of is that there was a SEC meeting that discussed that issue. But what I don't know yet is whether there was a resolution. And they asked for evidence, and I told Kenneth, the spokesperson of NRM party is the Secretary General. Because there was an issue of, Honorable Dombo came and whatever, I told them the spokesperson of the NRM party is the Secretary General. And when a junior law contradicts a senior law, the senior law takes what? Precedence. The chief spokesperson of this country is the president. Even if me, I come here and say government has decided this, and the president says no, and the president comes and gives another statement, take the one of the what? Of the president. Because he is the chief spokesperson. And therefore, I would like to again repeat that the issue was one time discussed in what? In SEC. And I didn't know whether resolution was passed till I saw this resolution. First of all, this is not a letter. It is a resolution. And under normal circumstances, if there is a resolution of any meeting, the chairman and the secretary will sign. This is not a letter. This is a what? A resolution. Whether it is fake or not, it's only the NRM secretariat which can clarify on that. And since it came out, I've not had any statement from the NRM secretariat dismissing it.
Or confirming it.
Or confirming it.
And it's not even on the social handles.
But
it's not even on the social handles
exactly,
of the NRM secretariat. We've been trying to verify and it's not there.
Exactly. And I'm still coming.
Honorable Minister, they are also
No, nobody is vulnerable in NRM, and there is no member of NRM that can take anyone at ransom, and more especially the chairman of NRM. You can never take him at what? You can never hold him at ransom. However, we as NRM, we have a process. SEC recommends, but the final decision will be taken by the NRM caucus. But ultimately, the final will be in Parliament, because they are the ones who will what? Will vote. But so long as NRM caucus comes up with a consensus candidate, that candidate will go through. However, you should also know that even if SEC takes a decision, there are people who they will take a decision on who should be a flag bearer of NRM in Parliament. But other people can come as independent what? Candidates, even those of NRM. The other time, NRA SEC took a decision. Kadaga still came as an independent candidate and contested. So me, I don't see why even these so many candidates are coming and bashing in SEC. No. If SEC recommends to the NRM caucus, and you know that even Right Honorable Kadaga was allowed to speak in NRM caucus, you can also come and say no. And in that caucus, and let me first finish. And in that caucus, there is discussion, there is debate. People think the people are just ganked. No, we debate and take and build what? Consensus. So me, I still believe at a certain point, NRM will follow the procedure. They will call, invite people to express interest. Even if SEC has already made a recommendation, even those ones who they have recommended will express what? Interest. And then they will be brought to NRM caucus, and the caucus will decide. But now NRM is moving steadily, building consensus. And I would like to repeat, this issue of the speaker is not giving us sleepless nights. Because we know once we decide, we shall get it.
Maybe because you are not interested. Those who are interested, like you might have heard from, you've heard from Egesa and Chigongo, they are desperate. Other campaigns, this is something we have never seen before.
But why should you be desperate?
We've never seen this kind of thing
Why
before.
should you be desperate to serve?
Mr. Rukwagande listeners.
All right, Mr. Chigongo.
Mr. Rukwagande listeners, it's actually the incumbent who is very desperate. She has twisted the party leadership from the secretariat to the chairperson that you don't want to admit, and I'm so sure they are stuck with her.
Know the word arm twist.
No, I think he just needs to qualify the
She has used all the
she has
instruments.
attempted to arm twist. Not that she has arm twisted, but attempted to arm twist.
I want to
I agree with him.
I want to be very particular. She has used all the privileges and the instruments she has to arm twist the party leadership. First of all, in the campaigns that I followed clearly, she took over as a spokesperson.
the MC.
In every region.
The
She was
MC.
emceeing every region, even in Uganda.
It was
Even in...
Yet they are vice chairman.
Yes, even in,
But he's
in
the
the
first
northern
vice
Uganda.
chairman.
The
Yeah,
honorable,
but,
the
she's the
honorable,
second.
the honorable
He's
Hamson
the second
Obua.
vice chairman.
Actually,
Why didn't the first take over?
Let's allow Kigongo to conclude.
I heard the honorable Hamson Obua also wanted to be
MC.
an MC in northern Uganda.
You heard?
And that's how
Ask us who was
that's
there,
how
who
he ended
was
up
there.
in the political limbo. And he will never recover from that political limbo because he also wanted to be an MC of an event. So they've been twisted. Unfortunately, they can't speak out. They are mugged. Like they have created another god. That's very absurd
And who is
for
that
us as a
god?
country.
My late friend Joseph Tamale Mirundi, when he was explaining the fallout of Among Mbabazi and President Museveni in 2014-15 there, he said he talked about the mountain dwellers versus plain dwellers theory of enjoying the beauty of the mountain, and I think this is where our friend Anita Among needs to pay some attention. Mountain dwellers don't tend to enjoy the beauty of the mountain top because they are too close to it. It is those who are in the plains a bit far away who see the beauty of the mountain top and they understand it. So some people get so close to President Museveni and they get so familiar with him and they think they can get away with anything. Like our brother is saying that she thinks she can arm twist him, but she forgets that this is a Machiavellian par excellence. He will crush her and eat her like a sumbusa. Like she said when she was talking about samosa, when she was talking about Dr. Pesije. The man crushed the Right Honorable Mbabazi and ate him like a samosa. You see, Mbabazi was a very powerful man. The man crushed General Kale Kaihura and put him in jail, in military prison in Machinde. This is the President Museveni you're talking about that Anita Among can arm twist.
Power is about
My friend, this man is a military general
Mr. Egesi.
and a military strategist par excellence
Mr. Egesi.
and a Machiavellian in politics. Yeah? My brother, I want to tell you, the fall of Anita Among is imminent and nothing is going to stop it. Anita Among will collapse at this speakership race, most likely. If she survives it, it will be because President Museveni and his son have reached a truce and agreed that in the short and medium term of their political game or political mathematics, she will serve their interest. And that will not mean that they cannot do away with her mid-term. It will not be an insurance that she will have a full year, a five-year term. So she might still be allowed to win now, maybe because they want to avoid creating a new battlefront. But ultimately, if she doesn't serve their interests, because she's very ambitious, nobody is ignoring the fact that Anita Among is looking at the presidency.
All right.
It is in the public domain. So Anita Among has flown too close to the sun, that the wax that is holding her wings is about to burn and melt away. So, like you said,
Power is